Yes, hi, this is your physical therapist. I was just calling to see if you'll be available for a visit tomorrow about 10 to 10:30. Oh, the nurse is coming? She didn't give you a time. So you don't want to schedule with me? Hey, what's going on? Dr. Trevor Miner, physical therapist here. First off, nothing but love for my nursing coworkers. Now, today we're going to be talking about scheduling our patients. So, actually getting them on your schedule, some things that I've learned over the years to get people to agree to the times that work best for you and for them, of course. Now, before we get started, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Those two things really do a lot to help support the channel. So thank you for doing that. Also, if you haven't yet, please go and download my templates for a home health physical therapy evaluation and a start of care. I'm going to link that down below so you can go ahead and do that. And let's get started. All right, now the first thing you want to do is consider using a route planning application. I've created a really in-depth tutorial using the Road Warrior mobile app. I'll go ahead and link that above. Take a look at that video to get some ideas on how to plot your route so that you're driving as least as possible. Second, unless you're in a very small geographical area, I always like to start with offering one time slot. It just doesn't work. If you've got a big area, offering multiple time slots typically doesn't work. So I start with one, go through everything I can to try to get that one time slot scheduled, and then if not, use that Road Warrior app to go ahead and get a second time slot that would work for them and for you. All right, next up, you're always going to want to provide a window of time that you'll arrive. So I like to provide time between 30 and 60 minutes and indicate that that is when you intend to arrive. That's not the length of the visit from the start to the end, but you intend to arrive in that time. That sets clear expectations for them, and it gives you some leeway, depending on how your schedule is going and how traffic is, to make sure you arrive when you say you will. Okay, also, this shows that you respect their time, okay? Nobody likes waiting 4 hours for the cable guy to show up. So don't be that person. Give a short window so that they can be ready and waiting during that short time frame. Also, this shows that you have respect for your coworkers as well. Kind of like my intro to the video, it's really hard to schedule around a 3-hour time window. You know, when your coworker has provided a 3-hour time window, you really need to allot 4 hours in their day that you can't go in order to accommodate that. So short time window helps a lot for them, for you, and for your coworkers. Next up, I like to try to avoid scheduling patients that live in an independent or assisted living between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And I do that as much as possible, and here's why. Lunch is going to be sometime in that time frame. And depending on the setup, you could totally have to wait while they're eating their lunch, okay? So during that time frame, if at all possible, I like to schedule patients that are in their homes. It's a lot easier for them to eat before or after you come. Along those lines, if your patient has an activity that they enjoy doing at one of these facilities, certainly do your best to schedule around that. So if you find out that your patient loves going to bingo at 1 p.m. every day, then when you call, go ahead and acknowledge that. Say, hey, I know you like to go to bingo at 1 p.m. on Wednesdays. Would it be okay if I came after that between 2 and 2:30 to come and do therapy with you? That's going to show that you're aware of what's important to them and get you scheduled in a time that works for you. Next up, something that I think we could all do better of, and that is being firm but not demanding. So it's important that we express clearly what our needs are to be able to come and see them in their homes, but we don't just demand and say, this is the time I'm coming to see you, good luck with it, okay? Very, very, very rarely should you take an attitude like that. So always be firm, try to educate them on why this is the time that's going to work best, but do not be demanding or anything like that. Doing that can really diminish your relationship with that patient and lose their respect, not something that we want. So one technique you can use to help them schedule with you is reminding them of the benefit it is that we're coming to see them in their homes, and also pointing out that you'll only be in a given geographical area for a certain time of the day. You know, it's a little bit different than going to a physician's office or even an outpatient PT clinic where there's a bunch of people sitting and waiting in the lobby to be seen. You know, we're actually driving around, going to see patients in the home, and a lot of the time, if you can, in a very kind way, get that point across, you can win them over to get a time that works for you. All right, now one thing you should consider is coming up with a sort of script for that first call when you're calling to set up your start of care or initial evaluation. After that initial visit, you can probably be a lot more lax, but for that first one, you really want to be clear and concise with what you're asking of them. Here's a possible script you could use for that initial call to set up your evaluation. Hi, I'm Dr. Trevor Miner. I'm a physical therapist with XYZ company. I received a referral to come out and see you in your home for a physical therapy evaluation. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow morning, and I was hoping to come by between about 10 and 10:30 to do that visit for you. Will you be available at that time? All right, now let's take a quick look at the components to that script. So first off, I announced who I was, clearly stating that I'm their physical therapist, and in this case, I do have my DPT, so I'm referring to myself as doctor. Now, if you don't have your DPT, no problem, but if you do, that is an excellent tool to get buy-in from your patient. So many patients will respect you more simply because you can be called doctor. So don't leave that out. Next, you're being very clear that you're coming to visit them in their home. It doesn't happen often, but occasionally patients get a little bit confused and wonder if they're being called to set up an office visit or coming to the home. So you clearly state that you're coming to see them in their home. Next, you acknowledge the importance of their time by asking kindly if that time frame will work for them. The last big component of that is that you're stating that you'll be in their area in a given time of the day, morning, midday, afternoon, whatever it is, so that they understand and can infer potentially that you won't be in their area later in the day. That starts you off on a good foot so they understand who you are, why you're calling, and they're immediately going to be more likely to schedule with you when you ask for it. All right, thank you all for tuning in today, for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Once again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, all those things. Again, I'm gonna leave a link below for some of the templates that I've created. Go ahead and download those, and we'll talk to you all in the next one. Have a good one.